Ladies and gentlemen, our next panel discussion is The Arts Make a Difference. This has become quite a slogan to us who have been, this slogan has been the motivational push for people like us who have been associated and has become friend of art for the last maybe say 25 years. So in arts, there is a we and there is a community in front of us. For some, the arts is only for us, for ourselves, for our upliftment. And for some who expect that arts should go to the community, should create an atmosphere where people start critically thinking, where people become empathetic, where students improve their talents by use of arts, and people who are interested in literature to get to know about the world outside their own little space. So for us, arts make a difference is a motivation, and we have chosen a panel. We have very carefully chosen this panel with that we and the community in our mind. All these people who are here, all the panelists are distinguished members of this society. They're all very senior and sincere professionals, but each one of them is very true to their passion as well. So professionally, they are into some profession for which they have got educational training, but while they're practicing their passion, they are into the arts, so to say. So first I'll call upon stage Ananya Bhattacharya. I'd like to introduce Ananya. She is a little odd man out because she's the only lucky one whose passion has become the same. Ananya, please take a seat. Ananya is director and co-founder of banglanatok.com, working at the intersection of culture, gender, and sustainable development. She harnesses art and culture media to influence behavior, shift social norms, and foster inclusive communities, all that we intend to do. Through initiatives such as Art for Life, she promotes living heritage, storytelling, and creative entrepreneurship to advance gender equality, community empowerment, and sustainable livelihoods across India and South Asia. A member of the UNESCO's Global Network of Facilitators for Safeguarding Intangible Cultural Heritage, ICH, she also serves in advisory and leadership roles with ICOMOS, ICH CAP, and the ICH NGO Forum, advocating globally for culture as a pillar of regenerative development. A big hand for Ananya from banglanatok.com. Next, I'd like to call upon stage Diparun Bhattacharya. Diparun by profession is trained in engineering and management. He works for a very well-known corporate house. But by passion, he is a noted Bengali writer and novelist, and he is widely regarded as one of the leading figures of biographical fiction on legendary Bengali film stars. Diparun also writes for Bengali newspapers, magazines, and digital platforms such as Anandabajar Potrika, Bortoman, and Ajkal. In 2023, he was honored with the Shyamol Gangopadhyay Short Story Award for his acclaimed work 50 years later, reaffirming his distinct voice in modern Bengali literature. So there's Diparun Bhattacharya for you. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for him. Next, I will like to call upon stage Ipsita Ganguli. Ipsita is an enigma, how she marries her professional and passion, life of passion. It's a wonder for us. Ipsita Ganguli is a business consultant by sunrise and a poet, art and heritage enthusiast by sunset, writing quite simply because she must. Widely published in national and international anthologies, she has 3 independent poetry compilations to her credit of Love, Longing and Random Pondering, Rooted India 75 and We the People and Why I Write Poetry. Her creative journey extends beyond the written word. She is one of the key protagonists of the acclaimed poetry film Kolkata Cocktail. Ipsita has also ideated, conceptualized, and hosted the talk show series Cafe Conversations, creating a vibrant platform for dialogue on art, culture, and creativity. So that's Ipsita Ganguli for you, a big hand. Now I will call upon stage Paromita Ghosh Majumdar. She is a bureaucrat by profession and a novelist by passion. So this is what Paromita's profile looks like. She is an economist by training, a public servant by daylight, and a writer, photographer by moonlight. Somewhere between a suitcase, a cafe table, and a much-needed nap, she wandered into public service, staying on for the paperwork and the occasional policy win. Endlessly curious about the world, she believes life is best analyzed and enjoyed over good food, long travels, and deliberate laziness. She can explain tariffs and stock markets with equal clarity and complaint, writes when inspired, bored, or conveniently procrastinating, and is fascinated by people, places, paradoxes, and everyday ironies. As a photographer, she captures stories through light, shadow, food plates, and accidental moments. A collector of memories, missed flights, and gloriously useless skills, she lives by one motto: live curiously and unapologetically. This is what she has written for her profile. So that is Paromita Ghosh Majumdar for you. A big hand for her. Now may I call Shishir Rai to come up on stage. Shishir is here. Oh yeah, you're here. Please come. Shishir Roy studied English language and literature at Ramakrishna Mission Residential College, Narendrapur, and the University of Calcutta. He later trained in film direction and screenplay, writing at the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute, SRFTI, Kolkata. Joining Anandabazar Potrika in 2012, he is currently associated with its editorial department as assistant editor. With over a decade of experience in journalism and media editing, he is actively engaged in public discourse and regularly speaks at educational and socio-cultural institutions, sharing insights on literature, media, and contemporary cultural practices. So here is the, I hope I have called everyone, because in the last panel I forgot someone's name and she nearly went into sleeping. So here is our panel, distinguished guests, professionals, and passionate people about art. Oh, sorry, yes, Debanjan is here. Oh, where is he? See? Oh, he's there, he's hiding, so. So, no, we have a chair here. So, see, I'm just stressed out. I'm forgetting my friend Debanjan Pan. Please come to stage, Dr. Debanjan Pan. Dr. Debanjan Pan is a psychiatrist, a distinguished psychiatrist with specialized expertise in child and adolescent mental health. He holds certifications in ADHD diagnosis and management from King's College London, UK, and child and adolescent psychopharmacology from BAP UK, and completed postgraduate overseas special training at the University of Melbourne. He is a fellow of the American Psychiatric Association and a life fellow of the Indian Psychiatric Association. He previously served as the Bradgate MHU NHS UK. His interests include ADHD, stress management, and mindfulness. He is also a regular columnist on mental health. I sure need him, I'm sure, after this panel. So apart from all this says nothing about what Debanjan actually is. He is an avid reader, he's a poet, a wonderful poet at that. He's a singer, he's a photographer, and he's a friend of arts. And his current engagement with his work is establishing a link between brain and poetry. I've put it very simply, it's not that simple. Debanjan will explain on this to us, and I'm extremely apologetic to him for forgetting, so he has to treat me. So we carry on with our work. We have initiated the slogan, "The arts make a difference." They are our torch bearers. They will tell us how the arts will make a difference to me or to them or to the community. So first I'll request Diparun Bhattacharya to take the microphone and tell us his views.
Namaskar. Thanks to Yapanchitra and KIFALC for organizing this beautiful discussion. I don't know whether I am the correct person to start with or not, but let me something regarding the art, which I think is very important, at least for me and a person like us who are successful or want to be successful in their professional career, and how this art can help them to do so. First of all, that all these statistics and all this science is very important, but our life don't move with only science and statistics. We always move with stories. We always think, because nowadays all these corporate house, they also need that leaders who should be a very good storyteller. And every time when we present something in front of management, a business case, they don't believe on only statistics. They don't believe on all these mathematical calculation we do. They always need to understand the story, why people will buy this, what is the story behind it. And that is, I think, very important. In addition to that, this thing, what we say that journalism is the first draft of history, and literature is the documentation of the same for the longer time. So this literature is always required in whichever field we are working. And now recently there was a AI summit happened in Delhi, and we feel that it will that AI in future will have a lot of impact on our this thing. And I will like to mention 2-3 words what the present CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, he mentioned in that AI summit, the AI as a transformative technology with a potential impact of 10 times greater than the industrial revolution we have. Sam Altman is the CEO of OpenAI. He mentioned that artificial intelligence as must transformative technology in human history, most effective transformative technology in human history. And one co-founder of Microsystem, Sun Microsystem, Binod Khosla, he mentioned that whatever IT job we are doing at present, after 2030, most of the job will be done by AI. So most of the people who are presently engaged in IT industry, more or less they will be jobless. So then what we will do in that particular scenario? So what I have seen that whatever scientific discovery we are doing, one is science, another part is that art and culture. Whosoever are very fond of reading fiction, fond of other form of this thing, art, then there they grow a ability to think beyond, because whatever maybe we are thinking something, but to comprehend something we need this particular thing, art. Because in future days what will happen, people whosoever is doing whatever job, he should be very very innovative with their our report also, our presentation also, our business case, everything we should be very innovative. Otherwise if we do a regular job, then our job will be taken care by AI, then we will have no other job. Then what I feel that in future time there will be three type of people. One type of people who will focus art and culture in addition to their normal whatever profession they have. They will be innovative person and they will grow in their professional career also. There will be another class who will just execute the job, and bigger than that there will be lot of people, maybe 70-80%, because when we implement AI, our productivity will increase like anything. But with that productivity, whatever we produce, who will buy that? Then there will be lot of this type of direct benefit transfer government will do, and that with that benefit transfer, lot of people have to survive that. So around 10-15% people will be super innovative in future, who will have their anchor in art, as per me, and another 10-15% people will just execute, and rest of the people will only survive their life with all these benefit transfer will come in future. So that's all from my side.
Next, I'll request Ananya to speak about what she feels and how art can permeate into the society. That's what our wish is.
Thank you. Namaskar to all of you, and thanks to Barnali especially for inviting me to this forum. Now, in the previous poetry session, I think we have got wonderful insights on why art is important. Art is not only creativity or aesthetics, art really shapes our identity. It shapes what we are. All the speakers mentioned, from literature in Poland or the rural ambience and all that. So art was always there. Even when, we were in the rock art age, and today we saw the beautiful Dokra gift. For those who are not from India, that is an ancient metal craft tradition which is more than 5,000 years old. So art is also science. Art and science go together. And in our wonderful textile, which many of us are wearing here, there's a lot of mathematics, to place those motifs. So art is also calculation. And we discussed Tulsidas. And if you think of our Baul musicians, they are actually raising questions about hierarchy, and they're talking of humanity. So art is philosophy. So art has been always there shaping us and identifying who we are. It helps us to learn about ourselves and our community. And that was something wonderful we heard in the previous session. At banglanatak.com, in our journey of last 25 years, we have been working with living heritage. Traditions, be it performing art, be it craft, be it visual arts, which have been passed down through generations. So in the next 2-3 minutes, I will just share what we have found. And it has been really a learning journey for us. Say we work with a painting tradition called Worli, where there is a tarpa dance, where the dancers dance in a circle. But when the painters paint that in their wall, they're talking of their worldview. They're talking of how man connects with nature. Same we see in our Jhumur songs and dance, where through the rituals, through the songs, we are worshipping nature. In fact, that is another beautiful part of art where knowledge is being transmitted down the generations. So what did Art for Life do? In Art for Life, our motto was safeguarding the dying traditions which were at risk owing to globalization, owing to urbanization. And we thought that what if these skills which people nurture by singing, by dancing, as Barnali said, many of us here, we wear two hats, and many of you said that at sunrise we do something and at moonlight we do something. But what if art becomes a livelihood? I think that is really a very important discourse which is missing in the conventional developmental paradigm. And world is realizing, particularly after the pandemic, where we really learned to survive through music, through art, when we were all disconnected and art connected us. So I think that is the importance of art. It is not only about income, but it is about engagement, it is about creativity and innovation. And we work with Bhattacharya, we work with Katha, and just turning that wording from artisan to cultural entrepreneur, we have seen the difference across states, that when someone is taking her art or his art to a wider audience, to new audience, there is pride, there is recognition. So that is art, which gives the ability of human being to negotiate, and it gives them a voice. We spoke about voice also repeatedly. Now, you raised a very important topic of AI. I think the creative sector has changed. With technology, with automation, we don't know what tomorrow is. It's not only about making your regular jobs through AI. AI is painting, AI is writing poems, AI is writing publication. So where do we as artists stand? And I think it's a huge area of work, and that's where platforms like this are very important, because we need to connect. And we need to have that clear voice that what we as artists, what we as people, as community need to work. So AI and ethics is something which every artist needs to negotiate. We need to have our collective organizations negotiating the rights of consent, the right of acknowledgement and credit, because our artworks, our literature, our poetry are being used without acknowledgement. It's what we call as digital colonization. It's a new threat. In the previous century, we saw how we were colonized for our spices, our textile. Today, this technology is colonizing us, and it is taking away our creativity. So I think we all really need to talk about that. The other part is artist rights. Yesterday, I learned that, the movie from Manipur, it was awarded BAFTA, and in the winner's speech has been removed from website. So what about artist voice? What about artist rights? Negotiate artist mobility. See, here we are learning about Egypt, we are learning about Poland. It's so important. Artistic mobility, the visas, and we know how difficult it is becoming. Art is important for a peaceful world, for connecting to each of us. So, there's so many areas where we as artists and artist communities and art lovers, we really need to come together. So art is important because it's economic infrastructure, it is democratic infrastructure, it's a digital rights infrastructure, and today, as we know, the world is facing climate change. And technology, and our traditional wisdom is having technologies which we are choosing to ignore. So we need to learn from our art, from our culture, about ways to cope with this. So it is also climate resilience infrastructure. It is AI governance infrastructure. So I think it's a very important thing. And instead of just talking of STEM, we need to talk of STEAM education and give art the priority it deserves. Thanks.
Thank you, Ananya. That was wonderfully put and exhaustively noted that there are many ways where art really makes a difference. One of them is, development through culture and heritage. And now actually we will go on to Dr. Debanjan Pan in the hope that to get a very a clear and lucid picture that why as human beings, the few of us who have been working with arts, why do we do it? Why do our brains tell us to do this? And what is special about that? And many more. He's an art practitioner himself, so he will, and since his research is on this, I'm sure it was going to be a very interesting discourse with Dr. Debanjan Pan. Please.
Thank you for your kind introduction, Barnali, and I guess, and good evening, everyone. I guess unintentionally omitting my name just proves that I am really the odd man up here. Whatever. Oh, no. I'm a mental health professional. So what I am doing here? That was the very first question one of my medical friends asked me, really sarcastically, when I shared the flyer you sent. So he told me that probably after so many years of practice, you are really, going out of your mind, which sometimes happens. And so he was supposing that I should not be here. So now, armed with the enthusiasm that KIFALC has invited me to talk on this as a panelist, I retorted back. I told him, do you know how many years Leonardo da Vinci took on the lips of Mona Lisa, to walk on the lips of Mona Lisa, the famous painting? So he was saying, why? I told him, the rumor goes, probably this time it is not a rumor, because history says so, that it is 12 years. And I told him, I asked him, knowing very well that both husband and wife, both are medicos, and I am the poor recipient of their fight sometimes, I asked him, do you really spend 12 minutes watching your wife's lips? He was clueless. I guess I am not asking you to spend 12 minutes to look at someone's lips, because that will be really, something that this society doesn't permit. But the thing is, yes, legally not allowed. But the thing is, that's aesthetics. Aesthetic lies everywhere. If you just can spend 12 seconds right now without really watching at me, because I am flanked by gorgeous women, so your attention will be diverted. So you can look around and see aesthetics is everywhere. The light, the shade of the light, the beautiful roof, some strange humming, everything is sensation. And all these sensations are aesthetics. And if we convert this aesthetics into something tangible, concrete, that is actually art. Let me show you one picture. Can everyone see this picture, please? What do you see? It looks like a quilt, isn't it? A perfectly delineated squares, and yeah, it's a quilt. Quilt have been made over centuries, depicting history of a particular place, culture, religion, or something else. And quilts have become visual arts, depicting life. And you will be surprised This is where this quilt, this is where life is becoming art. Why? Now, tell me the story of this quilt. This is a monochromatic picture taken under the microscope, a very high resolution microscope, of course, at Stanford University, way back in 2018. One cardiologist there, his name is Sin Yu. He was a little intrigued with some questions related to heart. He was wondering how he can generate a model of heart so that some basic questions about some cardiological problems could be answered. He didn't have a clue because of the 37 trillion human cells we are born with, the heart cells are really very difficult to be regenerated in the lab because of certain technical issues. Now in came one biomedical engineer, acoustic engineer. His name is Utkan Demarki or something like that. He gave Wu an idea. Let us move the heart cells with sound. Why sound? Because sound is such a thing that can actually passes through all the media. Be it liquid, be it gas, be it solid, be it gel, through media made of molecules. And what did they do? They passed sound waves through the heart cells, and you get this beautiful picture. And interestingly, after the investigation, Sen Yu tells us that if we tweak the amplitude and frequency of the sound, it changes the pattern. One quadrant goes up to there, something goes back. It's a completely different picture. Stanford University tweeted out, is it art or is it science? Wonderfully, it is both. And trust me, art and science are two potent medications for all of us to live this life. Now, next time you are moved by a song, a favorite song, when you are in somewhere, traveling, you can be rest assured that there are subtle changes happening inside your brain, inside your myocytes, that's the cardiac cells. And literally, art is changing your mood. So that is why art is life. We are born with art. One interesting thing that I get sometimes asked by many people, that art actually fabricates. What does not fabricate? The most interesting thing that actually gives you the biggest illusion is this, your brain. This 1.4 kilo jelly, trust me, is the biggest con artist. Because whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we memorize, those are all maybe half-truths, maybe distorted truths, or maybe some concocted truths, based upon your memories stored inside your hippocampus, inside your brain. Suppose you are seeing light here, so much light. Does actually you can see any color? Yes, of course I can see color. Barnali has been wearing a beautiful shari. I mean, so much color, so many colors everywhere. Can you really, can your brain really see colors? If our understanding goes back to what we have learned from Sir Isaac Newton, that actually there is no color. What we get, what we perceive as a color, is actually a mixture of the wavelengths of the electromagnetic radiations your brain is interpreting. And this is a very clever ploy by evolution to hit on your brain so that we can survive, so that we can adjust our vision. So everything, what we see, what we believe, what we think, does not necessarily mean that those are actual truth. So if someone says that art does not tell the truth, then I'm afraid you are doing great mistake. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Debanjan Pan. But after his discourse, I am become more shaky, because if by chance I had forgotten to call him, all of you would have throttled me. Because you said and you've explained and you've established that art is life, and from there we can come to the conclusion that how will art make a difference? It's already there. So is it making a difference to any of us? Is it making a difference to the boy on the road, to the person in Syria or in Ukraine or in Gaza, or to someone with some ailment? Is it? So now I call upon Paromita Ghosh Majumdar to tell us about what she feels about that art makes a difference.
Thank you, Barnali. Namaskar, Shubho Shandha. Actually, I was in two minds. I'm still in two minds because the theme of today's panel discussion is in English, which says the arts make a difference. And I was in two minds because I thought I would say in Bangla, because I'm going to talk about someone who has taken the arts as a means of resistance. I was very lucky to be here in the previous session where I heard a Polish poet. She was talking about the arts as resistance. And I felt so vindicated that my thesis today is also of inclusion and dealing with life, dealing with the society which is not so kind, with arts, with the arts, which is actually a story of resistance. Bangla is my mother tongue, and I am more comfortable in talking both in English and Bangla. So I might shift from English to Bangla and Bangla to English. That would also talk of kind of inclusion. Because I was seeing the name of the festival, which is Kolkata International Foundation of Arts, Literature and Culture, and Yapanchitra, which are again two different languages. So I am sure you are going to accept if I talk both in English and in Bangla. Actually, I asked ChatGPT to make an introduction for this speech for me, to help me out. I was wondering how to start with a very catchy one-liner, you know, and he was also talking about AI. So I instructed ChatGPT that why don't you start my speech
And ChatGPT prompted that some people say art doesn't change the world. I say, have you ever seen a nation unite over a song? Well, I thought I would subvert ChatGPT. Unite over a song? You're crazy? Aren't we hearing a whole nation go crazy over Bonde Mataram? Whether it is Gurudev or Dada, whether it is Bankim Chandra or Rabindranath, uniting over a song, are you crazy? I would rather say, yes, the art did unite a nation to debate over a song. So that was the starting, like art does make a difference. It might unite a nation to debate over a song. When Barnali was introducing the topic, she was going into all macros, like the art and the community, the human being and the community, the influence of art over the society and all. When Dr. Pan was talking, he was also talking about the macro aspect of art. I am going to tell you the story of a boy. It is a very micro approach that I am taking. I'm going to tell you the story of a boy who has resisted. I have written a few lines about him. Let me read it out from there. ছেলেটি কথা বলে না, মানুষ মানুষের চোখে চোখ রাখে না, ফোকলা দাঁতে হাসে না, জেদি রাগী অভিমানী সে ছেলের জগৎ বন্ধুহীন শব্দহীন। যেখানে তার কথা কেউ বোঝে না, সেও বোঝে না কারুর কথা। মেটে রঙের ছাই ছাই রঙের বেড়ে ওঠা সেই সব দিন। একটা সময় ছেলেটি স্কুলে ভর্তি হলো, স্বাভাবিকদের স্কুলে অস্বাভাবিক এক শিশু, অসামাজিক একটি শিশু। ক্লাসে তাকে প্রশ্ন করা হলে সে জানালার দিকে তাকিয়ে থাকে, সহপাঠীরা তাকে নিয়ে হাসাহাসি করে। সে দেখে কাঁচের ওপারে শিমুল গাছটা আকাশে নকশা কাটছে, আচমকা গাছটা তাকে জিভ ভেঙিয়ে দিল। সে যখন গাছের সঙ্গে বরং ভাব করা যাক ভাবছে, মাথার মধ্যে সাজিয়ে নেওয়ার চেষ্টা করছে একটা বাক্য, তখন আচমকা ডেস্কের তলা থেকে তার পায়ে পড়ল একটা লাথি, আর তারপর অনেকগুলো চিমটি। পাগল ছাগলদের ভাগ্যে ঠিক যেমনটা জুটে থাকে আর কি। This boy I'm talking about, he is in autism spectrum. মফস্বল বা গ্রামে তো তাদের পাগল ছাগলই বলা হয়। গ্রামের মানুষ হয়তো কিছুটা সঠতা শিখেছে, সে মনে মনে পাগল ছাগল বললেও বাইরে আহা উহু করে। তো ছেলেটি বুঝতে পারে না কোনটায় তার বেশি কষ্ট হলো, লাথি চিমটি নাকি ওই হাসি। নরম জায়গায় শক্ত বুটের লাথি খেয়ে ছেলেটার কিন্তু কোনো ব্যথার অনুভূতি হতো না, কিন্তু একটা অজানা যন্ত্রণা হতো, অস্বস্তির যন্ত্রণা, কিছু একটা ধরতে না পারার যন্ত্রণা। সেই যন্ত্রণার রং আছে, মাথা জুড়ে ছড়িয়ে যাচ্ছে যন্ত্রণার নানান রং। রং রাইট, রং রাইট, রাইট লেফট, রাইট লেফট, রাইট ব্রাইট, ফ্রাইট মাইট। রং থেকে জন্ম নেয় তার মস্তিষ্কে শব্দের বিস্ফোরণ, কিন্তু জিভের ডগায় শব্দ আসে না। তার একটা লেখা থেকে আমি একটু পড়তে চাই। ও লিখছে, মেজ বয়সের দুপুরবেলা লম্বা, রাতগুলো এই এত বড়, খাবার টেবিলটার মতো। মেজ বয়সে বিকেলবেলা ভালো, একটা সাইকেল চড়া ভালো। স্কুলে পিটি ক্লাসে পিছনের প্যান্ট নেমে গেলে মেজ বয়সে লাথি চিমটি খেতে হবেই, পাছুর খাঁজে। নরম জায়গাতে শক্ত বুটের লাথি। ব্যথা হতো না রুকুর, একটা যন্ত্রণা হতো। মেজ বয়সে রুকু দাঁত কেলানে। শুধু জিনাত আর হেলেনকে দেখা নয়, অনেকে অনেককে দেখছে, রুকু জানতো। মেজ বয়স থেকে প্যান্টের বেল্ট টাইট করতে হবে, প্যান্ট টেনে নামিয়ে দেবে। রুকু তো বোকা, বকা খাবে রুকু। আনস্মার্ট ডার্টি ফেলো, কেলে ভূত একটা। মেজ বয়স থেকে অটিস্টিক রুকু বুঝে গেছিল সে অটিস্টিক। স্কুলে স্কুল আছড়ে গেলেও রুকু অটিস্টিক। এলোমেলো চুলেও রুকু পাগল, ওকে বাদ দে না। রুকু সব কিছু থেকে বাদ, রুকু থেকেও বাদ। আত্মীয় ফাত্মীয়র মধ্যে রুকুর জন্য শুধু পাপা আছে, আর কেউ নেই। সব নামেই রুকুর ভাই বোন, কথা বলে না কেউ। রুকুকে কেউ পাত্তা দিত না মেজোরা, রুকুকে কেউ পাত্তা দেবেও না, রুকু জানে। তখন নাকের পোঁটা ঘাঁটা হচ্ছে রিল্যাক্স করা রুকুর। সবাই পেন আর পেনের ঢাকনা, রুকু একা পেন্সিল। পাপা পেন্সিল রেস্ট করার জায়গা। এমন একটা রুকু যে রুকু অন্যদের মতো নয়। রুকু কথা বলতে গেলেও সবাই সরে যায়। রুকু কথা না বললে রুকুর দিকে তাকিয়ে থাকে, তাই রুকুর প্রিয় বিরিয়ানি আর চামচ। আগে গন্ধ পেত না, রুকুর নাকে সর্দি সারা বছর সারা রাত। রুকু বলতে পারতো না, শরীরে নুন নুন নুন। আবার টেবিলে বসে খেতে খেতে হাসি পেত। রুকু বিষম খেত, কি কাশি। খাবার খাচ্ছে, খাবার যাচ্ছে মুখে, রুকু চিবোচ্ছে। রুকু খাবারকে পাত্তা দেয় শুধু। আগে ধাক্কা লাগতো দেয়ালের সাথে রুকুর, এবার দেয়ালগুলো দূরে যাচ্ছে একটু, রং পড়ছে দেয়ালে, দেয়ালটা গ্যালাক্সি হচ্ছে। রুকু কিছু নিয়ে তো থাকবে, প্লিজ ওকে একটু বোঝো, শুধু শুধু চেঁচাতে নেই মন। একজন বোঝাতো একজনকে দরজার ওদিকে, একজন কেঁদেই যেত। কে রুকু, কে বুঝবে? রুকুর হাতের পাতাগুলো চাইতো মাকে, সরি বলতে চাইতো, জিপ চাইতো না, বালিশে ঘুষি চলতো। এই হলো রুকুর রেজিস্ট্যান্স। যে রুকু চিমটি খায়, লাথি খায়, দেখে লোকে হাসছে ওকে নিয়ে। আমার মনে হচ্ছে রুকুর এই ভাষা রুকুর রেজিস্ট্যান্স। এই সমাজটা চিৎকার করে ওকে কিছু একটা বলছে, সেই ভাষা ও ঠিক ধরতে পারছে না। ওর মনে হচ্ছে ওটা একটা হুমদো লোক, সেই হুমদো লোককে ওর এই কবিতা দিয়েই রেজিস্ট করতে পারে, ওর এই লেখা দিয়েই রেজিস্ট করতে পারে। ও তারপরে আরেকটু বড় হচ্ছে যখন, ওর লেখা আরেকটু পাল্টে পাল্টে যাচ্ছে। আরেকটু বড় বয়সের একটা লেখা বলছি। রুকুর দেয়াল গ্যালাক্সি হচ্ছে, সারা মহাকাশ রুকু চারটে, সারা মহাকাশে রুকু চারটে কথা খুঁজে পায়। কিরে কেমন আছিস? রুকু ভালো। আজ ঠান্ডা গরম বৃষ্টি শীত, রুকু এখন এখানে। মেয়েদের দেখলে ছেলেদের দেখলেও কথা এক থাকে। রুকুর কথা খুঁজতে হয় মাথা খুঁচিয়ে, কথা খোঁজা খুব পরিশ্রম। ও আরেকটু বড় হচ্ছে, ওর আরেক ধরনের লেখা আসছে, সেটাও পড়ছি। রুকুর ডাক ছেড়েছিল অনেক রাতে, গাধার চিৎকার কুকুরের কুণ্ডলি দিয়ে। আ আ আ আ, খেলা খেলা খেলা, খ্যাপা চিৎকার বাথরুমে। একটা কথা বলতে চাইছে রুকু, ব্যথা করছে অল্প, বুঝছে না তো কেউ। পাপা বুঝলো রাতে, দরজা খুলে ঘরে এলো। ম্যানেজ কর রুকু, এটা একটা যন্ত্রণা, এরপর মুক্তি। সাইকেল চালাতে পারিস খুব জোরসে, তারপর চল একসাথে ড্রেনে হিসু করি। রুকুর কবিতা এই নিঃশব্দ ছন্দে বিনা যত্নে বেছে নেওয়া শব্দের ভাঁজে রুকু বুঝে নিচ্ছে তার পৃথিবীকে, শিখে নিচ্ছে কিভাবে এই বিশৃঙ্খল পৃথিবীর মধ্যে খুঁজে পাওয়া যায় কিছুটা মানে। বিভ্রান্তিকর কথোপকথনের ভেতর আবিষ্কার করছে অর্থ। রূপক তার কাছে হয়ে উঠছে অন্যদের সঙ্গে সংযোগের সেতু। দ্য আর্টস ডাজ মেক আ ডিফারেন্স টু দিস বয়। প্রসঙ্গত জানিয়ে রাখি দুটো বিষয়। এক, রুকুর প্রিয় খাবার সাদা আলুর তরকারি আর লুচি। আর রুকু আজ এখানে আমাদের মধ্যে আছে, ওর ভালো নাম বিনায়ক। ও বসে আছে আমার সামনে তৃতীয় রোতে। রুকু তুমি এসেছো, আমি ভীষণ খুশি হচ্ছি। আমি এখানে শেষ করতে চাই। আমার বিষয় অত বড় ম্যাক্রো কিছু না, আমার বিষয় এই খুব মাইক্রো, যেটা বললাম ক্ষুদ্র একটি বিষয়, হয়তো যে একটি মানুষ কিভাবে মোকাবিলা করছে এই পৃথিবীর সঙ্গে এই আর্টস দিয়ে। ধন্যবাদ বর্ণালী, ধন্যবাদ সকলকে এখানে আসার জন্য।
পারমিতা যে আদতে ইকোনমিক্সের স্টুডেন্ট বোঝা গেল, ম্যাক্রো মাইক্রো ডিফারেন্সটা আমরা ধরতে পারলাম, তবে মাইক্রোকে বোধহয় অ্যাড করে করে ইট মেক্স ম্যাক্রো. That's what I at least know about a little bit of economics. So we are really, we were inspired by the story, what she has written and what she narrated, that even if one person, there is a change in one person's life, that really does make a difference. আমার পরের বক্তা শিশির রায়। শিশির, আপনি বাংলা ইংলিশ যাতে খুশি বলতে পারেন, ইটস ইয়োর চয়েস। আসুন, আজ ওখানে বসতে পারেন। না না না, এখানে।
নমস্কার, শুভ সন্ধ্যা। Let me start in English and then revert to Bengali if necessary, or if you also guide me. Just as I was preparing myself to come here, one of my friends called, and he's also here present now, and he asked, what is this all about? I do not understand the subject that is there. Arts making a difference, or what is this? What's this all about? So I told him, frankly speaking, I also do not understand, but I understand that I do not understand. So I think all of us are trying to understand this very premise here, that there are arts in our lives, and it has a possibility quotient at least, to create some difference, and we almost unanimously we support this premise. Arts make a difference in our life. Had it been in a debatable manner, does art make a difference? In my personal opinion, it could be more interesting, because then we would have for the motion, against the motion, and we could fight nail and teeth. And I think that could be more interesting in a panel format also. I am from the journalism sector. I come from literature background, and I work with a Bengali daily, and every day and night, out and out, I have to deal with people from all walks of life. And I have to interview a rickshaw puller in the street, and I have to interview, say, Amitabh Bachchan, if you can at all make it a spectrum, or two ends of a spectrum, or whatever it is. In my opinion, I have become particularly cynic in this sense, and you know that journalists are not a bit, but a much more cynic lot. And we see so much dirt happening in our lives, in our society, in our country, among people, that we have to believe in that dirt. And I do not know whether which art can cleanse that dirt from our lives. We talk about macro, we talk about micro. I have some very good teachers and mentors in my life, and a couple of days ago I asked one of them, see, there is this meeting happening or panel happening, and the subject matter is there. What should I tell? What should I speak there? What will be my one word or one sentence thing? And he said, he came up with a very good ChatGPT-like one-liner, and he said, you will say, the arts refine us, the rest define us. This is a very good thing. I actually did a program to him and said that, আরে বাহ, this is good. এটা কি ব্যাপার, এটা একটু বলুন। উনি বললেন যে, see, all our lives we actually carry luggage and baggage. I, Shishir Rai, such and such, I come from such and such background, I work in such and such background, and you have invited me today with such and such baggage. Without that baggage, I couldn't be anybody, or I could be nobody, or I would not get an invitation here. Those are the baggage you are carrying here. You are defined by those baggage and luggage in your life. But those people do not know whether you are an artistic person, because they do not see the refinement in you. Whenever they will live with you, live together with you, this is also a live together, live in, then they will come to know whether you are a man of art or not, whether you have a refined taste or not. See, we are having this panel discussion in Calcutta, Kolkata, once city of palaces, once the second city of the empire, British Empire or whatever it is, and city of joy after that. And we are very proud to call it a city of culture, city of arts also. But arts is also fine arts. I do not know whether there is any unfine arts. I do not know. Every art is fine. But you go to any new sculpture today, the city is littered with dirty artworks everywhere. Whatever you can be proud of, those are from the yesteryears. Not a new thing has come up, or public art, that is. There are many good artists who are doing very good artworks in their studios, in some sort of controlled public domains, but walk into a street, walk into an avenue, where are the good old structures and artworks that used to embellish our city? There is none, almost none. There are beautiful old buildings. North Kolkata is flanked by beautiful structures. One of my very good friends, he does this heritage walk thing, heritage walk. And the people who come to this work, he was actually confessing to me the other day that, see, to every person I have to say, এইখানে না এই জিনিসটা ছিল. This thing happened to be here. These people used to live here. Okay, people die. No problem. Artists also die. Humans die. Okay. But the things, the artworks, the palatial buildings, gone to promoters. The artworks sold or destroyed. Even books, libraries, those are themselves the connoisseurs and preservers of artworks. These days nobody goes to a library, and we are talking about arts making a difference. Yesterday itself, I went to a college to talk about journalism as a profession. The faculty people there, the teachers there, told me beforehand, sir, please don't tell them harsh words. They are innocent people, they are innocent students. And I suddenly got reminded of a small anecdote that I know about Bonopul, Balaichand Mukhopadhyay, one very good prose writer and writers, storytellers and story writers of our yesteryear. And he went to Shantiniketan, and in Shantiniketan, Rabindranath used to arrange for these small little Sahitya Sabhas, literary these panels, literature panels. And the students of the ashrama, the students of the school or the college, school, ashrama, they used to participate in and recite song, their creative writing, come up with their creative writing and recite that. And Rabindranath made Bonopul the guest in chief guest for that very evening. Rabindranath would not be present there because the students will be frightened by his presence. So Bonopul will be there. And Bonopul went, and the students, they used to come up in the podium or in front of the mic or whatever in there. There was no microphone, okay. And whatever they used to do, Bonopul was by and by getting irritated. What are these people? What are these students? They live in Shantiniketan and they do not know a bit literary thing, and they live in the company of this great Rabindranath Tagore. And when his chance came, he started like me. You are bad, you are rubbish, you don't know anything, this and that. And suddenly he saw from the corner of the eye that one of Rabindranath's managers or employees, and he is standing there on the wings and he is vehemently waving his hands like this, don't do this like this. Bonapul did not actually notice that, and he washed them off, the students and the participants. After that, he called on Bonomali. Bonomali was the person, the servant manager, and Bonapul asked him, what were you asking me? What were you telling me? What were you trying to tell me? And Bonomali said, Gurudev আমাকে তাড়াতাড়ি পাঠালেন গিয়ে বল বলাইয়ের তো ওগুলো পছন্দ হবে না. Of course he would not like the things that the students will tell and recite and perform there. But at least give them some allowances for them. Let them pass this time. They are little children. See, this was 100 years ago. You could make allowances for this 100 years ago, not now. In this 21st century, in this information boom, Chat GPT, AI, you have everything in hand. We have everything in hand. And whatever we are producing is trash. Mainly, principally trash. Last evening, I went to a small book fair that was happening, a very cute book fair, and it was themed on 21 February, the International Mother Language Day and all that. And I noticed, to much my chagrin and annoyance, that all the cover of the books, almost all the covers of the book were made by AI, and it was very bad AI job. Very bad AI job. The things that we see in book fairs right now. It's very easy, and that is why you run the risk of getting into the mode of average or mediocrity. Whenever you have everything at your hand, in hand, ready at hand, you run the risk of going into mediocrity. The people there of the yesteryears, they did not have this. You have a monolith, a one stone, and you have to carve the angel out of it. মাইকেলেঞ্জেলো বলতেন যে আমি এটা বানাইনি, আমি ওর মধ্যে ছিল এঞ্জেলটা, আমি ওকে মুক্তি দিয়েছি মাত্র। একটা গোটা স্টোন স্ট্রাকচার ছিল মনোলিথ, আমি সেটা কুদে কুদে ওকে মুক্তি দিয়েছি। This is the artist's philosophy. Where is this philosophy? When did we lose it in our life? And we have make our own cocoons. The poets' cocoons, the artists' cocoons, artists in the sense painters' cocoons, filmmakers' cocoons. Filmmakers only invite people from film fraternity. I know because once again, I'm a journalist, I go to I can have access, and I do have access to every fraternity. That is why I know. Filmmakers will not invite a poet. If yes, if they do, they will have vested interests in inviting a poet. Because maybe the poet will be invited to write a piece on that film, and of course a good review on that. Not a bad review. So each and everybody have made their own circles. And we are discussing arts making differences. Of course arts make differences. We are unanimously on it. We know that. But what's the effect? If arts could make a difference, why is there so much division and divisiveness in our life? কেন তাহলে এত খেয়ে কেন আমরা এত ফাইটস? যদি সত্যিই আর্ট মেলালেন তিনি মেলাবেন তিনি মেলাবেন, আমরা জানি দিনের শেষে, তাহলে কোন আর্ট মেলাবে, কোন আর্টকে জানলে বুঝলে তবে আমরা পারবো? See, I'm more of an editor than a reporter. I do not do reporting. I do not write news. I explain news. I'm more of an editor. And in editorial emails, my inbox is always flushed with creative writing pieces, short stories, poems, features, explanatory essays, and on politics and culture and society and everything. Believe me, 90% of them do not have any insight. They do not. Even if they quote, they do not quote properly. They do not quote Rabindranath properly. They do not quote a Neruda or a Shakti Chattopadhyay properly. They do not. And the things have come to such a pass that you cannot even joke. You can joke with people with literary allusions. আপনি যদি বলেন এখন খুব শীত এসেছিল এবার কলকাতায়, আপনি যদি এক সুপর্ণা নামের একটি মেয়েকে বলেন এই শীতকাল কবে যাবে সুপর্ণা, সে হয়তো বলবে যে এই তো আবহাওয়া দপ্তর বলেছে আর 15 দিনে চলে যাবে প্রবালদা। She will not understand an iota of it that he was actually making an allusion of a Bhaskar Chakraborty poem. We have come to such a pass. Things have boiled down to this very thing. So call me cynic, but once in the very good old past, cynicism was also a philosophy, you know. In Greek times, in classical times, cynicism was a philosophy. Cynics were the pupils of students of Socrates. We know names like Antisthenes. We know people like Diogenes. We know people like Crates of Thebes. They were cynics. They were philosophers. They were cynics, but they were philosophers. And they were the most austere people we can think about. We can imagine. সিনিকরা ছিলেন, যে সিনিক ফিলোসফাররা ছিলেন ক্লাসিক্যাল টাইমসে, তারা কোনো যশ খ্যাতি সম্মান সোশ্যাল রিকগনিশন এগুলোর ধার ধারতেন না। অ্যান্ড দে ওয়ার আউট অ্যান্ড আউট র্যাশনাল পিপল। দে ওয়ার গাইডেড বাই র্যাশনালিটি অ্যান্ড দে ওয়ার হারমিটস, র্যাশনাল হারমিটস। বলবেন যে আমি যে বিদ্যাটার চর্চা করব সেই চর্চাটা আমাকে মননের এমন স্তরে নিয়ে যাবে যেখানে আর এইসব তুচ্ছ, আপনি আমাকে আজকে এখানে প্যানেলে ডাকলেন, আমাকে মিষ্টির প্যাকেট দিলেন, আমাকে ফুলের তোড়া দিলেন কি দিলেন না, আই ডু নট কেয়ার। এগুলোকে আমি কিট বলে গণ্য করব, ময়লা বলে, আই উড কনসিডার দেম ডার্ট। এই হচ্ছে কথা। আর আজকে আর্টিস্টরা যাচ্ছেন সেখানে, এই বিরিয়ানি প্যাকেট দেবে তো, এই আমাকে এই স্কলারশিপটা দেবে তো, উড আই গেট এ ফেলোশিপ দেয়ার, ইজ দেয়ার এ চান্স? আরে তুই তো আর্ট করতে এসেছিস, ফেলোশিপে তোর কি যায় আসে? এদিকে তারপরেই ফেসবুকে লিখবে যে মানিক বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় আহা কি অ্যাবজেক্ট পভার্টিতে হি ইউজড টু লিভ, সেই মানুষটাই। আর্টস মেকিং এ ডিফারেন্স ইন হুইচ লাইফ, হুজ লাইফ মেকিং এ ডিফারেন্স? What people are we talking about here? What society will you change by such mediocre people and mediocre art? এবার আপনি বলবেন, you will be ostracized, you will be sequestered, you will be a recluse, you will be a forcible recluse, forced recluse. You will not get invitation at the very next panel. This is the ploy that every journalist does always. One of our cards in our astins. এরকম একটা ব্যাপার। কিন্তু না, এটা দিনের শেষে বলতে গেলে তো আসলে খুব খারাপ খারাপ কথা বলতে হয় ঠিকই, কিন্তু হ্যাঁ আমরা আসলে we try to be refined people at the end of the day. Like my teacher said to me, যে arts refine you and any other thing actually defines you. এই ডেফিনিশনটা আমরা সবাই খুব আপন করে নিয়েছি, আমরা রিফাইনমেন্টটাকে আপন করে নিইনি, যে কারণেই আমরা একটা ভালো সাহিত্যের রসিকতা বুঝতে পারি না। আমরা দিন দিন যে কোনো শিল্পের যে কোনো স্তরে আমরা বেরসিক হয়ে যাচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ, আপনি এখন যদি বলেন কি রে হাসিস না, রামগরুরের ছানা হয়ে যাচ্ছে, সে রামগরুরের ছানাটাও হয়তো বুঝতে পারবে না, কারণ সে সুকুমার রায় পড়েনি। এবারে এটাই হয়তো আমাদের আজকে এটা একটু জানি না, আমি একটু পুরোটা হয়তো ঘেঁটে দিয়ে গেলাম দিনের শেষে শেষ পাতে শুক্তো দিয়ে দেওয়ার মতো, এটা জানি না কিছু, কিন্তু we can actually overcome this, we shall overcome this, I think, কারণ মানুষের সভ্যতা সংস্কৃতির মধ্যে সবসময় যুগে যুগে this recession happened, সবসময় যে ঢেউটা অনেক ওপরে ওঠে তার একদম অতল একটা তল থাকেই। কে জানে, হয়তো আমরা সেই গ্রাফটার এখন ওই নিচটার যে গ্রাফটা, যে খাদটা, হয়তো আমরা সেখানে এখন আছি। এরকম পৃথিবীর মানব সভ্যতার ইতিহাসে সবসময় এরকম হয়ে এসেছে। সো মেবি উই আর ইন আ সর্ট অফ ভ্যাকুয়াম রাইট নাও, উই উইল রাইজ এগেইন। I want to end with this hopeful note, shedding away this cynic note, but I don't know, very truly speaking. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shishir, for your discourse as well as telling us the stark reality. It's not that none of us know about it, but we here, at least today, or during the 4-day festival, or during our activities, we like to believe that we are making a difference to the life of people. But your discourse tells us another thing, that there should be more conversations like this. There should be more criticisms coming our way, and there should be more positive notes that one day we will overcome this. And how? How would we overcome this? By having these conversations, by talking to people, by interacting with the community. That's what I said when I said we and the community. You are our flag bearers. You are our torch bearers who will speak to the community. Say what Shishir has told us today. Say what we already knew. Speak out. That art is the only way which will make a difference. I cannot think of any other way in which hatred will turn into love. We were all inspired by Ruku's story. How Ruku put up a resilience. If Ruku could do it, all of us can do it together. That's what we feel. And now I come to Ipsita, the last person today, and later we'll come back for 1 minute's rejoinders from all of you.
Good evening. Saturday evening, almost 7 o'clock, and here we are discussing arts make a difference, and we are discussing this with a full house. I think that's adequate to prove that art matters. We've had a wonderful session of discussion where Dr. Pan has talked about art is life, the micro and the macro of art, cynicism about the mediocrity of art, art entrepreneurship, and a lot of concern about AI. I'd simply like to start with a very favorite poem by a contemporary poet friend. It's called The Artist, and it's written by Madhu. I don't mind being the non-essential. Even a child takes its mother for granted. It does not run back to its mother till it is hurt. Nobody first thinks of water when they arrive at an exquisite dinner party until they are choking. I don't mind being the non-essential, knowing you will come looking when things are broken and nothing else works. Art is non-essential till it is not. Art is non-essential till it is not. Catherine Brooks said, "The arts matter because without them, our strong emotions, our vital voices, our move to the groove, energy, and necessary empathy, and life-affirming connectedness and tendency towards complexity might all wither with disuse, maybe even destroy us through misuse. The art matters because with them, we matter." Sydney Smith said, "The arts matter because we matter and our stories matter. We are moving miracles, walking creators engaged in a cosmic dance. The art we express is timeless. Don Ball said, "The arts matter because life is dull without perspective." All art, good and bad, made by an individual or a team, brings the perspective of an artist to others. It is so important to have art, to teach art, and to allow ourselves and our children to live with the tradition of art, because the art gives us the tools and the means for communicating about the way we see the world. Art stretches me, challenges me, makes me think and feel. The Greek philosopher Aristotle believed that the purpose of life is eudaimonia, flourishing or living well, which involves the proper exercise of human capacities. The arts, particularly music and literature, contribute to this by educating emotions, providing intellectual pleasure. Aristotle argued in Poetics that tragedy, by evoking pity, fear, provides a catharsis, a healthy emotional purification or purgation. This process helps balance the emotions, allowing the audience to be more rational and stable in their daily lives. Aristotle even suggested that art completes what nature left incomplete. On my recent trip to Greece, I was privileged to visit Epidaurus. Epidaurus is known for the sanctuary of Asclepius, the Greek god of healing. It was the most celebrated healing center in classical world, where sick people came to get cured. Now, this sanctuary hosts a huge theater known for its symmetry and beauty and acoustics, and they have performances to the day. The theater is significant because in ancient Greece, they believed in wholesome wellness of body and mind, and hence performances were encouraged for its healing properties. This practice of hosting performances in hospitals became a common practice in Greece. People have been relying on the arts for communication, self-expression, and healing for thousands of years. But art therapy didn't start to become formal till the mid-1900s. Doctors, as Dr. Pans mentioned, noted individuals living with mental illness often express themselves in drawings and other artworks, which led many to explore the use of art as a healing strategy. The goal of art therapy is therefore to utilize the creative process to help people explore self-expression, and in doing so, find new ways to gain personal insight and develop coping skills. The voice of art. Art has always served, we've talked about this of course, as a powerful socio-political voice by acting as a catalyst for mobilizing, challenging authority, and illuminating injustice through visual imagery. It transforms abstract political ideas into posters, murals, and street art that unite crowds, foster public debate, and amplify marginalized voices. Bob Dylan's Blowing in the Wind became a civil rights hymn, and Picasso's Guernica has long served as symbols of anti-war sentiment. Art serves as a potent non-violent voice during the Indian national movement, fostering unity and patriotism against British rule. Abanindranath Tagore's iconic painting of Bharat Mata transformed the nation into a goddess-like figure, fostering emotional and patriotic devotion amongst Indians. During the 1905 partition of Bengal, because that's when partition of Bengal began, Tagore became heavily involved writing songs like Amar Sonar Bangla to foster unity and lead protest marches. Through stories like Strir Potro and novels like Chokhir Bali, Tagore challenged patriarchal norms, social evils, and the treatment of widows. Akla Cholore became the rallying cry of self-reliance and fearlessness in independence movement. Gora explored the complexities of Indian identity, caste, and the need to embrace all parts of society, regardless of religious divides, all of them relevant, art being relevant even today. With contemporary protest artists leveraging visual media to challenge power structures, some key contemporary protest artists like Ai Weiwei, he's a Chinese artist, documentary filmmaker, an activist known for using sculpture and social media to critique human rights abuses and authoritarianism. Banksy, an anonymous street artist famous for satirical stencil addressing anti-war, anti-consumerism, and anti-fascist themes. Guerrilla Girls, an anonymous feminist collective using masks, posters, performances to highlight racism and art sexism within the art world. Art is an unparalleled medium that transcends barriers, enabling people to convey sentiments and share experiences. And isn't that exactly what we are doing when Marta read out the beautiful poem, when we heard the magic of Egyptian words, just the music of the words, or they heard Bengali? That's collaborating, that's communicating, that's art beyond boundaries. Art is vital in everyday life because it provides an essential an essential outlet for emotional expression. Japone kobita, Yapanchitra. It's a medium that allows us to connect deeply, evoking feelings, memories, and introspection. Ruku. Whether you're an artist or an admirer, art offers an avenue to navigate emotions and find personal meaning. I began with a poem. I must conclude with one. Invictus by William Ernest Henley, a poem born from his personal life experiences, but also one which served as a battle cry, and it's a tribute to the very spirit of life. Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Thank you.
See, ChatGPT one-liners have become very popular and famous. So we'll end this with one-liner from each of you, what you got after this discussion. So just one line. Diparun. Final conclusion.
হ্যাঁ অনেক কিছুই বলা হয়ে গেছে, নতুন করে বলার
Just
কিছু নেই।
tagline.
হ্যাঁ, রিসেন্টলি ইউনেস্কো একটা আমাদের আর্ট এক্সিবিশন, যেটা আমাদের দুর্গাপুজো সব থেকে বড়, সেটা একটা ইউনেস্কো হেরিটেজ পেয়েছে, এবং এটা পাওয়ার পরে সব থেকে বেশি ফরেন টুরিস্ট কিন্তু কলকাতায় আসছে।
Great.
তো এটাই একটা বলা ছিল।
Ananya.
I think the discussion really connected. আর সবাই যা বলেছেন, art is the infrastructure for soul. And I think it is the deepest form of empowerment, যেখানে আমরা আমাদের নিজেদের ডিফাইন করছি, রিফাইন না, কিন্তু আমি ওটা একদম এগ্রি করি না, ডিফাইন করছি। অ্যান্ড জাস্ট টকিং অফ, বিকজ ইউ মেনশন দুর্গা পূজা, এটা হোলির মাস, আর আপনারা জানেন পুরুলিয়া এখন পলাশে অপূর্ব, কিন্তু আপনারা যদি যেতে চান একটাও ট্রেনের টিকিট নেই। ম্যানস ইনহেরেন্ট লাভ ফর আর্ট, amidst nature, amidst show dance, amidst ঝুমুর, সবাই এই সপ্তাহে পুরুলিয়া যাচ্ছে, which now draws during this season more tourists than Darjeeling. And if we all know 15 বছর আগে পুরুলিয়ায় কেউ যেতে ভয় পেত. So that is how art makes a difference.
Thank you, Ananya. Shishir?
I will be the happiest person on earth if what I have said is proved wrong.
No, it won't be proved wrong. It's very true. That's the truth. But we expect that would be changed slowly, if not immediately.
I want to share a dream about Bengal because that's always been my inherent dream, that Bengal is full of art and culture and art and artifacts and Purono Bari and all of that. I think we are a revolution waiting to happen. We just need to package the art and show it to the rest of the world, market to the rest of the world. Art festivals like this, multidisciplinary art festivals like this, and heritage workers. I know Ananya is one. I happen to be a heritage enthusiast. Let's just come together and do something for Bengal.
Thank you. Ipsita, Paromita.
There was a time when Jyoti Boshu was our chief minister, and some journalists had gone to him and said something about art and culture. So he said, "Oi buddhoke jigesh karo, culture falture boje." So we are a nation where we talk like this, culture falture, but still we are so engrossed in this so-called culture falture, and we want to remain like that.
Thank you, Paromita. Now, Dr. Pan, one-liner, what you'd like to tell us?
I'm afraid I can't, wrap up in one-liner, sorry.
You were given 2 lines.
So many insights from so many distinguished speakers. I just want to throw all of you a simple question, that why not we take art as a way of life? Number one. Second, you know what? What made us different from Neanderthals, from Homo erectus, is creativity. And trust me, out of 962 genes, those were responsible for socialization, emotion control, and creativity. We, the Homo sapiens, are only the proud inheritors of about 200 genes for our creativity, which actually have made us different from the other species. Now, coming back to the question of cynicism, 2 things. As a mental health consultant, what I have seen over 26 years, number one, we do not endorse art as a way of life. Number 2, we do not teach children that it is equally important to know art. Art will actually educate you about emotions. And this life, which we have all started from stardust, and we will, finish off as warm fodder, 4,000 weeks of journey. So basically what we need is a good control of our emotion. And as human being, we will only survive if we remain pro-social. And that is where art steps in. Because as a person of science, a man of science, I know where art can really make the difference is in certain brain areas of the brain, of our brain, which can make us empathetic. So that is why art as a way of life is important. Art as an education for all the children, starting from their younger age, is so important. That is my take on this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. It was a very, what should I say, inspiring and surprisingly many topics came up, and we have come to know many ways how to fight this cynicism and take arts to everyone, starting from school. And today's hero is Ruku. So a big hand for Ruku. He has shown us how arts can make a difference. Thank you very much.